Urbanization in India is continuing to happen, which means that tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities will have influx of people moving in. So first thesis was gated communities will continue to grow at a rapid pace in the country, and larger the gated community, you need a platform to run it like an enterprise.
If you live in a gated community in India, MyGate is probably as much a part of your morning routine as your first cup of chai. Today we have Abhishek Kumar, who left a secure career at Goldman Sachs to build MyGate. In 2013, Abhishek and his team saw that India is going through massive urbanization and more people are choosing to live in gated societies. They also saw that the rising popularity of services like Uber, Ola and Zomato will break the old system of intercoms, and more communities will need a platform to run themselves like an enterprise. So in this episode, Abhishek shares their entire journey and core insights behind how MyGate became a 100 crore behemoth.
How did MyGate happen from Goldman Sachs?
I think 2010 में I joined Goldman. 13 I started to feel कि यार सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा है, but you start getting a feeling of doing of something of your own. It's like a startup bug, and then it stays with you for a long time. So I had a great colleague with me, Vijay Arisetti, who also joined Goldman, was in the same department with me, and became good friends. I think both of us sort of fueled each other कि कुछ करना है. Vijay, who is the original idea man behind MyGate and the founder of MyGate, one fine day he calls me and talks about the MyGate idea. That got us excited. A few months later, I also left Goldman and joined him as a co-founder in the venture. You need to be super convinced when you are making a plunge like this to know that the macros are going to support your idea. First was macro for us was urbanization in India is continuing to happen, which means that tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities will have influx of people moving in. So first thesis was gated communities will continue to grow at a rapid pace in the country. And larger the gated communities, you need a platform to run it like an enterprise. Second, the gate will become a massive friction point, and the exponential rise of delivery executives and cab drivers and other services will break the system. So the technology solution is where the opportunity is. The third interesting aspect was when we spent about a month shadowing the security guards, we understood that a security guard actually holds an interesting, very unique piece of information and creates asymmetry. वहाँ पर क्या होता है कि जो मेड कुक नैनी ड्राइवर आते हैं, वो सिक्योरिटी गार्ड को बोलते हैं, भाई अब जॉब चाहिए, आप कोई रेसिडेंट के घर में किसी को मेड चाहिए, कुक चाहिए, तो आप उनको मेरा नंबर give my number. A broker would come to them and say कि फ्लैट खाली है, तो I have somebody who's looking for a flat in this community, आपको मैं कुछ पैसा शेयर कर दूंगा. And this is happening at scale, and this asymmetry of information is what we also wanted to break. We realized that a gated community is not just about people staying there. It's about, it's almost building an ecosystem or a small economy around it.
How did you go from that point to saying that let's build a product out?
For the first few years, we were only focusing on solving the friction at the gate. और सबसे बड़ा friction insight ये मिला हमें कि जो security guard जो gate पे बैठा रहता है, he's supposed to do the job of security guard. But morning 5 a.m. till 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., he sits in that counter and picks up call from residents जो कॉल करके इंटरकॉम में पूछते हैं, भैया आप चेक करिए मेरा कुक आया कि नहीं, मेरा मेड आया कि नहीं. And he would look at some register to figure out कौन आया नहीं आया, who's come, who's not. And then another call would come of the nature where he'll say, मेरी आज मेड नहीं आई है, आप किसी को भेज सकते हो क्या? Which means that while this is a small nagging problem, it's happening daily. And that was another interesting insight to solve for daily nagging problems so that product becomes integral to your daily life. So we built our first product was कि all the maid cook nanny driver in the community will have a MyGate digital ID. Where they will come to the gate, they will enter that into a MyGate card device, and resident will be notified that maid has come to the society, cook has come to the society. That was a super experience, especially for who is managing the home. It was a aha moment. क्या मेरे घर पे आज मेरी कुक आ गई, सुबह उठते का headache खत्म हो.
Getting your users to interact with you on a daily basis is a massive insight. This is something we teach during the engagement and retention class in our 4-week growth program, where you learn how to truly solve for growth in your companies. The next cohort for our program is starting on December 1st, and we accept nearly 30 new members every week. The last week when we opened up membership slots and we announced it here, we got booked out within 30 minutes. So submit your application to be considered for a membership this coming week. With that, getting back to the episode.
Second thing was delivery executives, cab drivers, they would come and how do you ensure that resident is approving? Intercom systems were breaking. So we built a product which would connect the delivery executive who would give the details to the guard would enter in a device And wherever you are in the country or outside the country or taking a walk in the park or in the gym, you will see in your app the delivery executive is waiting for you. Approve, deny, or click third option, leave the parcel at gate. I think these two really clicked for us, and it created a massive aha moment, I would say, that practically disrupted how gates are run in the community in India today.
Tell me, how did you sell? Like, how did your team sold to the first 10 society managers? What worked, what didn't work? Lay down the whole thing in front.
We started only in Bangalore, but we also did not spread across Bangalore. We said we'll only look at one pin code, and in one pin code or 3-4 pin codes nearby, we'll identify what you would call opinion leader communities, which are typically the large community of, let's say, builders like Prestige or Brigade. उनके large communities में जो होता है, बाकी also look up to them. If those communities take MyGate, we definitely saw good word of mouth. Second is the smaller communities look up to the larger communities because the problem statement is amplified. So if they have taken a technology to solve for it, the other guys also would want to try that.
When you launched first, like the first time you charged, what was the society size and what was the billing size per month?
Early days, actually, we were able to charge about $1,000 per year per society for about 400 to 500 homes in that community. But as we scaled up, we definitely, one of the challenge that we faced was not every community was willing to pay that kind of a revenue, SaaS subscription fee. But I think one thing was clear for us was SaaS revenue is going to be a small portion of our overall revenue potential that could emerge on a long-term basis. We would be very happy not to do any other business model if, let's say, the SaaS revenue was 100, 200, 150, 100 to 150 rupees per home per month. If today communities pay us that kind of a revenue, we'll be $100 million business just from the SaaS revenue. But that's unlikely to happen in India. But we know that we are building a world-class product. People are liking it, but will not get paid for the true value of the software. So the opportunity is, what else can you build on top of this business model? One opportunity that we felt that can be done as we scale it up. So between 19, when we raised $50 million, we decided to make our actually product free. So we went into a 2-year period of massive monthly cash burn, but we were able to distribute MyGate from 5,000 communities to 25,000 communities in that 2-year period.
For you to sustain that cost was only possible because of your raise. But if you didn't have that money, how would you have gone to 25,000 from 5,000?
नहीं होता.
So you're saying that the friction of payment is so high that only few in every pin code will pay.
No society in India will pay you 150 rupees per home per month. If you have to build a business like ours, just purely on a software subscription revenue, you can do that, but you will be a very small mom and pop type company. 10 crore का revenue होगा साल का. कुछ societies, 1,000-2,000 societies will pay, but that will only pay like 20-30 rupees per home per month. That's about it. But our aspirations were much higher.
So MyGate did 100 crores of revenue last year. You are EBITDA positive. You are going on track to do 170 crores this year. What has worked? Lay down everything.
Interestingly, क्या हुआ COVID के time पे a lot of brands were reaching out to us because communities were locked, people are not going out, and they saw MyGate as a platform to communicate brand messages and advertising through us, which was part of our thesis as well. तो हमने उस पे काम करना चालू किया, and in 2 years we built that business of brand connects with communities from 0 revenue to about 70-75 crore revenue. We also said कि great value we are providing to communities. जो free में हमने किया हुआ था, हमने बोला I think it's time to start asking the communities for value for the product that we are giving. So from 0% of our clients paying SaaS revenue, which is software का पैसा, to today we have nearly 50% of our client base paying SaaS revenue. So these two added up to that 100 crore of revenue.
Now 100 crores is a massive milestone. But during this journey, the MyGate team realized that while SaaS revenue looks sexy in the short term, there's a bigger opportunity to be unlocked in the long term. And it has 3 words: daily active users. So they set out on the mission to get 30 million rich Indian households to use their app daily.
I think by being in the mobile app and solving daily problems of community living, where MyGate becomes an integral part of your day-to-day living, where you're waking up in the morning, first thing is कि मेरे घर में जो अगर house help है वो आया कि नहीं आया, so you check on the app. We solved the gate first, then we solved and built an enterprise solution for everything inside the community. एक community को run करने के लिए क्या चाहिए? आपको एक proper accounting, invoice, expense management solution चाहिए, so that you can raise the maintenance bills residents has to pay. You have to have a clubhouse and amenity management solution. You need a module or solution to manage, let's say, help desk ticket. You need a vehicle and parking management system. You need to be able to do staff attendance of all the community help. You need a platform to be able to communicate important notices. All of this today is available in MyGate. So MyGate has become the one-stop shop platform to run the community, and all the residents of that community are using that app to live in that community. Now, if you are able to do that, we believe that multiple business opportunities beyond SaaS revenue can open. For example, today we have also opened up advertising. So we brand advertising and brand connect with community. That is our business vertical. We bring thoughtfully brands to the communities where they are communicating their messaging, they are advertising to these through the app, and that is a revenue source for us. Imagine that the entire blue collar ecosystem is also on MyGate app. So all the maid, cook, nanny, driver, they have a digital profile. I think these are the reasons why that investment of 75 million or so happened, not because of SaaS revenue potential, but because India का 30 million household आपका app daily use करेगा, जो gated community में रहता है, and their per capita income makes them the India one. That is going to use MyGate app on a daily basis. And that is what we are looking to go after.
How big do you think is this whole market opportunity around communities, housing, like the whole urbanization angle?
Gated communities. Broadly, our estimate is there are 160,000 gated communities across India, small and big. The residential real estate is growing at about 13-14% CAGR. And it is estimated that nearly 25-30 million homes in coming few years will be in gated communities. So the next question is, what are the opportunities that you can build around gated communities? I think broadly, one is having a solution on which gated communities run. But if you look at security, let's start with security. Security cameras, both for gated communities, common areas, basement, big opportunity. Security cameras for homes, we are seeing adoption of that, big opportunity. We have ventured ourselves into smart devices. So we have launched MyGate locks, which is not just available for MyGate audience in gated communities, but any individual homes can buy our locks as well. The larger factor that we see supporting these opportunities are more and more families are nuclear families. Couples are working and you have higher dependency on house help. Our data shows that 45% of more homes in the last 4 years have house help than it was 4 years back. Both me and my wife are working. I had to leave the key or allow the person to come into my house when I am not there and do the chores and leave, right? How do you ensure that you have a strong pulse of what's happening around your home? And we are seeing an inflection point where early adopters have already adopted these solutions like video doorbells, digital locks, security cameras. And I think that adoption will definitely increase in coming years. We are working on it. And if there are companies who can provide kick-ass world-class solution around that, we'll be happy to speak to them as well, right? I think broadly, these are the opportunities that we see.